Imaginary giant world, yes. Hopefully you can climb in it. Fortunately, I think some things are closed off. Otherwise, it's quite a cool little park to roam around in. You can go in these little tunnels. Yeah, that's a shame as well. This is exactly the kind of place I wanted to work out in. But it's all cordoned off. Really good Japanese, like tempura, deep fried egg. Yes, mate. See my little mug. So I'm eating something similar to what I bit my tongue on, so I need to be very careful. And I've also got some kimchi, but you get these big scissors to cut it with. It's quite like to see. So all these soups are so good here. They're really healthy. There's nothing too crazy about the flavour. It's just very, the base sauce is quite clean, and then you can add salt, pepper, and then there's a bit of meat in there, and then there's this whole part of kimchi, which is really good. So I really feel very invigorated from eating this. Just got my first street food, some weird meat stick. Not sure what it is really. Not bad actually. It was like a fish stick, so I'm trying to get more street food in time. Kind of a Simpsons themed. Check out this weird Homer. What the hell? Batman. Favourite kind of pub? A beer pub. I think what's in there. Another one. Another beer pub. It's like themed pubs around here. Just on my way to an MMA class. About to have the crap kicked out of me. It's a guy called Dae Hwans Kim. He's apparently one of Korea's biggest MMA stars. To be honest, I don't really know who he is, but apparently he's really nice. But he can also kick on us, and everyone's us, and he'll be there tonight. Don't really know what to expect. I said to bring a mouth guard. We're doing sparring, which I'll probably do, and we're doing some wrestling, which I don't really know how to do, so it's going to be fun. It's kind of weird. I'm in a hotel going down to the gym. It's quite a nice hotel as well, actually, called the Somerset. That was a really good MMA session. So I did a bit of kickboxing. So you could kind of drop in, people were just doing their own training, and then there was like 2 different halves. You could do grappling on one side, like wrestling, and kickboxing on the other side. So I started with kickboxing, and that was more within my comfort zone, so it was really good. And they definitely went easy on me, which is good. I was paired with quite a nice dude. Like some light sparring, so we did some sparring as well. And the wrestling was fun as well. Like again, they paired me with some dude from China who was quite new, and that was good. Again, they lots of control, and they really broke things down quite nicely. It was just quite eye-opening because there's this, like the main guy, Dae Hwan Kim. He's a pro fighter, and there's a few other pro fighters as well. So I was like looking around, there's really huge guys there, like 6'2" or 3", and just mountains. And like a couple of them used to be wrestlers. There was a dude from Mongolia, like a Mongolian badass who just would fight anything. So it was just interesting to watch them spar, and just kind of take it all in. It's a very friendly bunch again, and it was also interesting to hear Dae Hwan Kim talk about owning a business. So when I met him, he's really nice, but he said, yeah, I'm the owner here, I'm the owner of all the debts. Like he's really struggled, and he was just telling me about how little help the businesses have got here from the Korean government. And funny enough, he was like saying, oh, the British government are amazing, and like they've handled it the best. And I was a bit like, I'm not sure about that. And he said about how we've handled the vaccines is really good, and they've helped the businesses. So it's just interesting to hear from an outsider's point of view, because I was a bit like, oh, everyone here thinks the Korean have done really well, but the dudes there were saying it's not the government, it's the people who have done the majority of the heavy lifting. The government's just been taking the piss. So again, it's just interesting to hear that point of view. One more thing to add was it was brutal, but not in the way I thought it would be. Like everyone was wearing masks, but a lot of them are, as you can imagine, when people were grappling, the masks were just flying off. There was literally no point in having them. But when we were doing some intense exercises, you're already like gasping for breath, and then when you've got a mask on doing that, it like when you really need a breath, it just sticks to your mouth, and it just causes like extreme anxiety, like you're having a panic attack or something. So it's like I had to keep pulling it out. So that was why it was really hard. And finally, in the end, I mean, no one was really worried about it, because I guess everyone's been tested recently. Like the other day, they tested all the foreigners in Korea. They literally just said, if you're foreign and you're on a long-term visa, you need to come. And I think a lot of people think that's quite like xenophobic, and just like trying to make a scapegoat of foreign people. And the cases aren't even that bad here. And some restaurants as well have menu system. So I've been using Naver Maps to find some cool places in the area. This is one of the top-rated places. It's quite cheap, about £7 for drinks as well. The other side, again, not entirely sure what I've got, but some sort of meat, some really strong broth. You can go serve yourself all the sides you want at the top. As expected, great. We had this little potato croquette thing, really crispy on the inside. The soup's quite spicy, quite clear. And yeah, it's a Japanese themed place with Korean sides. That's how I best describe it. I tried this cider. It's not cider, it's just like 7-Up. Still got to get over just people leaving their bikes in the street. Also chatting to another couple of foreigners in Korea today, and they were also outraged about the fact that the government just told all foreign workers to go get tested, even if they've not left the country for a year. So they're basically treating them differently. So I do think that's something that we can't imagine if that happened in England what the outrage would be. It just wouldn't happen. So it's quite funny. The government here is quite a bit like most governments. They're obsessed with public perception. So the other day I did a questionnaire. I stopped in the street because they were trying to stop foreigners and ask them why they were here. And I thought I'll just do it to see what kind of things they were asking. And then buried within that, it was like the questions on where I want to visit. And I wasn't even sure, but the woman was like, well, just put wherever you want. But the questions I think they were trying to get at was like, how would you rate South Korea's COVID response? I mean, it was like, how specifically, what did you like about it. Like, was it the low case volume, the quality of the Korean healthcare, and all this other stuff? There's like loads of questions on just like how it, not even how it actually is, it's like what's your perception of it. And so it shows you how highly they value it. It's a bit similar to like the K wave of like, it's no accident that all the Korean culture is everywhere these days. It was a big concerted push by the Korean government a few years ago to get all their music out there, a lot of the films, and the K dramas, and just pushing the Korean culture forward. So they've done a great job on that as well.